Welcome everyone, Rowdy here. I've got a difficulty 12 Explore team, and you can also use this in 3 trophy PvP. I tested it a little bit. It's about an 80 to 90% win team. It's not the fastest team, but it ends up with quite a bit HP, and it might also be a good Guild War defense team. Depending on how the AI plays it, it could be a nice griefer team. But anyways, let's take a look at the team and we'll do some runs. And this is the Suna team. And I'm using Guardian Crown. And what does that do? Cleanse myself, gain a lot of life and armor, and move to the front. I'm using Orb Weaver just for the Dark Storm on the start, plus you also get an Entangle, and Thrall, my mana gen, which, where would I be without Thrall? I know he blocks Suna, but he destroys so many gems if you have reasonable magic. And then Suna steals 48 life from the 2 weakest enemies, then steals 8 magic from the 2 strongest enemies. So every cast you're going to go up 16. Oh, and I should note, Fairy Fire a random enemy when matching red gems. You can also use this with, I was actually using it with Dragon Guard before, just because I was trying to work on getting that to level 100, and that would start with a Firestorm. You could probably do it with Sunspear as well, and that would be fine because then you have a constant Firestorm. And then in last place, I've had about 4 or 5 different troops here, and it kind of just seems that Possessed King works best for me, and we all know what Possessed King does. Best thing is explodes 2 random gems on 4 or 5 gem matches, and when you've got a storm going, it's pretty useful. The hardest part about this is sometimes getting up Thrall, even when you're running it with Orb Weaver. I have tried Leprechaun down here to jumpstart Thrall, but it just doesn't work quite as well. I've tried Queen Titania down here for the Fairy Fire on 4 or 5 gem matches. It doesn't do enough. You know, it might if you're running a Fire Talent Tree class. And I forget what else I've tried down here. Quite a few different things. Maybe somebody else can make this team just a little bit better. And if you do, please go ahead and post it. And I'm not worried about skulls at all because they do start entangled. It's basically hit Suna, and if the entangle wears away, or once Guardian is filled, go ahead and cast that. You'll most likely only have to cast it once. And as long as you get Thrall filled, he'll pretty much just keep refilling himself. Plus, Suna will almost always get refilled. And, you know, that's almost unkillable, even in, you know, difficulty 12 Explorer. And it does silence the first enemy, which is also very nice. And it loops fairly well, other than when you have to cast Suna. But as you can see, Suna has 600 health and 72 armor, so I'm not too worried about Suna dying. The only thing you would have to worry about is, of course, Lycanthropy or a Death Mark. Which I seem to run into those in PvP a little bit more often. And I did lose Suna quite a few times, but with Guardian Crown up front, I didn't really have much trouble. And we'll take that to fill Thrall, and that should fill Suna up. And I don't want to leave them a 4 match or a 5 match. I should probably cast that on Guardian Crowns just to be safe. And you can see now we're up to stealing 96 life. And if they're fairy fired, that's going to be, what, 48, 144? I just did math in one of my videos, and I said I would try to never do math. And this cast should take care of it, stealing 112 life. And the best part is, as Suna gets stronger, the enemies get weaker because you're stealing the 8 magic from the weaker enemies. So, it's possible if the AI plays this correctly, this might be a nice creeper team for a Guild Wars defense team. I don't know, I don't do Guild Wars. I set my defenses and I'm still using, pardon me, the same defenses that I've had set for about the last year. And seeing how I don't play, I'm always, I think it's Soldier is the lowest one, so I only get people fighting my defense about twice a week, so I don't even worry about setting new teams, but maybe this is something you people out there would like to try. You people. That's always a terrible phrase. The only other thought I have that might be a little interesting with this team is if you want to focus just a little bit more on, because usually you only need to cast Guardian Crown 0 or 1 time. If you want to cast it a couple, maybe take out Possess King and put Sedai Warrior down here, and you might end up with 200-300 health on there, and Sedai Warrior is going to do all that as 1-to-1 damage. So that just popped into my head. Okay, I don't see any 4 or 5 matches. Doesn't mean they're not there. Just means I don't see them. And I should probably cast Guardian Crown since it's just about to pass away. So how many fights has that been? It's been 4. Let's do 2 more. That'll put us right around 10 minutes, even though the 10-minute mark doesn't matter that much. But anything under 10 minutes is usually a happy length for me. And let's just go ahead and cast that now while we have it. You know what? Instead of wasting a cast of Thrall, I figured let's just go ahead and cast that. And now we can start working on a different troop. I like this team quite a bit. I wish it worked just a little bit better in PvP. It might, if you want to go, off book and maybe use a team like, or I'm sorry, a class like Sentinel, where, there's a chance to, 25% chance, I believe it is, to barrier a random troop every turn. That could be interesting. That'd be one way to, I don't know, maybe Frost Mage as well. You're not going to start with the Storm you want, but these are kind of just ideas that I'm throwing out there. And I believe I tried this with Assassin class too, because you really tend to get quite a few Skyfall skulls, and I think it just didn't work as well as I wanted, even though Assassin class can start with a Darkstorm. See, now I didn't even cast Guardian Crown once this fight, and this is the Mythic fight. And Suna end up with 671 life. So that's kind of nice. Anyways, yeah, about 10.5 minutes right now. New Aranea and Yasmin. So I hope that team helped you, and think about it for PvP, Guild War Defense. And thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Oh, and I should mention, I do have a Twitter account now. It just helps me connect with some other gamers and whatnot. So if you want to, I will leave my Twitter in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.